Good morning. Welcome back to U.S. History, the start of week 2. Today is going to be my last of kind of the intro days where I'm going to be making a really important announcement on this video, and the other video I'm posting today will be the last of the kind of the intro assignments, and then my plan is tomorrow to actually start up coursework. The announcement in this video is the upcoming Washington, D.C. field trip. I want everybody to know that we had begun to promote that last year, right around Christmas break. This is going to be the 5th kind of biannual time Michigan Center students have embarked on this journey, going to Washington, D.C. and checking out all the sites, the museums, all the awesome stuff that our capital city has to offer. Crazy times though. With the pandemic going on, I've had a lot of questions as to whether the trip will end up happening or not, if it's going to look like it has in the past. As of right now, everything is a go. I just corresponded with our Bright Spark, that's the name of the company that we travel through, the charter company, and everything is still kind of a go at this point. Normally, under normal circumstances, you would have had to have registered really by the middle of this past summer. But with everything going on and so much uncertainty out there, they've been very flexible with the deadlines. Right now, well, for this trip, for a school our size, we typically target 2 grades and try to incorporate the freshmen and sophomores. In the past, Miss Lamon and Mrs. Haynes had coordinated this trip, and they've run it 4 times. The last trip, which would have been, I think it was the 2019, it would have been not last summer, but the summer before, was the first time I attended as a chaperone. I had a blast. It was a really awesome trip all around. I have nothing but good things to say about it, and I believe most of the students that went on it had an awesome experience as well. So this is the first time that I'm kind of being the lead chaperone and coordinating everything, and of course, global pandemic happens the year that I step in. So I'm hoping things will have smoothed out a little bit by then, and we might be past the COVID mess, but we'll see how it goes. Even if we're wearing masks, or we might have some itinerary changes. As of right now, I plan on still attending the trip and hoping we can make the best of it, and maybe with a little bit of luck, things will be pretty much back to normal by the time we're going on the trip. On this announcement, I'm going to attach all the forms you'd need. The registration form, there is an optional insurance form where if you don't have to buy the insurance, but if you did, I believe it's like $76, and if you needed to back out for any reason, even just a day or two before we leave on the trip, you'd get a full refund. If you don't buy the insurance, then any money that you've put in on the trip, if you backed out last minute, you wouldn't get that back. The total cost of the trip, and it does say this on the registration form, I'm shooting from memory here, it was approximately $850 or so. Chaperones, like additional chaperones or parents, are welcome to come on the trip. I believe their price, because they don't qualify for all the student discounts, is around $950. Sometimes it would go up a little bit more if you had special requests or any room accommodations. But that's roughly the price of the trip. As of right now, we have 40 students signed up and 20 adult chaperones coming. A common question for it is if an adult, a parent, chooses to attend as a chaperone, do they have any responsibilities? Not really. We'll have, generally we have 4 staff members attend as chaperones. They're going to do most of the heavy lifting and taking on the responsibility of kind of supervising students. At most, if you're an adult chaperone, a parent chaperone coming and attending the trip, you typically just might be responsible for a couple kids that you would travel together for certain activities and groups, and just doing a head count when we get on the bus, making sure the 2 or 3 kids that you are kind of responsible for are there. There's a lot of freedom on this trip. There are certain blocks of time where we just kind of will cut you loose in the Washington Mall, and you can go kind of explore. We always recommend like kind of the buddy system, but a lot of freedom, and you get to see a ton of awesome stuff. I can't rave about it enough. We saw all the major monuments. We went to several different museums. This next year we're adding the Spy Museum on. We went and looked around the Capitol building, did a tour of that. We went onto the grounds of the White House. We couldn't get the tour inside because you have to go through all kinds of paperwork and background checks now to get actual entry into the White House. But we did a lot of photo ops there out front. We hit. You have the option to hit any or all of the Smithsonian's there, which those are free museums. And I didn't realize this when I was younger, but the Smithsonian Institute isn't actually just like one big museum. It's a whole complex of museums where there's 9 different buildings around the Washington Mall that are all Smithsonian's, each one with a different topic, like an American history, a natural history, air and space. So that was one of my highlights. Anyway, there's too much stuff to just list off in this video, but if you're interested at all in the trip, I would highly encourage you to check out the forms that I have attached to this announcement. The registration form, the optional insurance, and the itinerary are the main ones. Also, there are 4 half scholarships available because we know the cost of this trip is fairly significant. I think you get what you pay for, and it's a very worthwhile experience and worth the money. But I know that can be a pretty high cost for some families. So if you're interested, we were planning to have all the scholarship applications due at the end of last school year. But with everything that went on and the shutdown, we extended that out, and it's going to be this week. We're coming into Labor Day weekend. All scholarship applications will be due by this Thursday. You could turn it in if you're in for face-to-face learning. You can give it to your advisory teacher and have them get it in my mailbox by the end of the week. Or if it works better for you, I'll also attach the scholarship application form to this announcement, and you can just share it with me on Google Docs. The staff chaperones, we will get together this next weekend and decide who will be awarded those 4 half scholarships. The application process isn't all that difficult. You have to fill out a form. You have to get a teacher or 2 to recommend you. I'm okay. We were supposed to be 2 teacher recommendations, but the way that is now, you really only see 1 teacher a day, so I'll waive that, and you only have to have 1 teacher recommend you. And then there's a brief statement, a brief essay that you'll fill out. So I guess at this point, if you have any questions, any comments about it, anything, please contact my school email as soon as possible. They're being very flexible with the deadline. I believe they're going to let people still enroll and register for the trip over the next few months here, but it would be ideal to have our numbers kind of set by Christmas break. Right now, we have 40 students and 20 adult chaperones. Our trip was budgeted for 80 people, so as of right now, we have about 20 open slots. Once we get past that 80 point, the trip might fill up and book up. Another thing, when we are actually on the trip, we'll all stay in a hotel together. We have students split up by gender, so there'll be boys' student rooms and girls' student rooms. We try to let you select who you want to stay in a room with as much as possible. So hopefully that makes for a great trip. I hope to see a lot of you signing up and registering. If anybody has any questions about it, contact me ASAP, and I will get answers back to you as soon as I can. I'm pretty much on my email all day now during the school days, so I should be able to get back with you directly. Hope this message finds you well. Students, please, I hope you watched it through to the end, but also feel free to share this with your parents, and I will probably be sending an email or 2 out I'm going to try to hit all of the parents of freshman and sophomore students. So if you're a freshman or sophomore at Michigan Center High School, we want you for the DC trip. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care.